What's up there, YouTube friends? Cheddar here, back with another video. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good day, and I hope everything is just going well for you. So thank you for joining me. Today, I'm making a movie review video, so you can probably tell by the title. This is a movie review of the 1986 French horror movie called Devil Story. I just recently learned about this movie because another one of my favorite YouTube channels recently covered it. They made a really funny video. The channel is Red Letter Media. You've probably heard of them. They're a big movie review channel. Anyway, I learned about this movie from them. It looked interesting, and me being the masochist that I am, I decided to check out the movie because, why not? So this is my review of a Devil Story. So the movie is only an hour and 15 minutes long. However, it feels both short and long at the same time. It goes by quick, but it also feels like it takes forever. It does feel like it works in the movie's favor in a way, but also it is a problem of the movie, which I'll be getting into. This is definitely a schlocky, low-budget movie. Most people are going to call this put it in the so bad that it's good categories. I agree with that. It is not a good movie, but it's an entertaining movie. It's not an impressive movie, but it's an interesting movie. There's a lot of crazy, stupid stuff you see in this movie. So if you like schlock movies and you're okay with watching low-budget movies and you have an hour to spare or an hour and 15 minutes, I think it's worth just giving a quick watch. I would suggest watching it with a crowd of people or, with a friend or something. I think it's a more enjoyable time that way. I watched it by myself. And it was okay. I had fun with it. It was still funny and it was still interesting. There's still things I liked in the movie too, actually. But it's, I'm just trying to recommend how you should watch the movie. If you're not into schlocky, low-budget movies, or so bad that they're good movies, I'd say skip it. It's probably going to be a little too ridiculous for your taste, but at the same time, there's way, way worse movies that you would hate more too. So I've seen way worse movies than Devil Story. So what is the story of Devil Story? It's about a monster man who travels around the countryside attacking various people while an old man shoots at a black horse. Also, a woman on vacation is haunted by a black cat, that same black horse, and also a mummy. And that's basically the story. There is more to the story, but that's just a quick plot summary. Okay, so what makes the movie bad? Well, many things, a lot of things. But, I'll bring it up in 3 points. The first point is you see a lot of stupid stuff. There's a lot of stupid shots. You see a lot of ridiculous stuff. It's just so ridiculously stupid. I can't really put it another way. You see things that you shouldn't see, and I don't mean that in a good way. I mean, like, you see shots that ruin the movie, okay? So a lot of it's just stuff that looks stupid, where you can see that the movie is almost working as a mystery, like a haunted hotel, haunted mansion mystery. And you can kind of see that there's something working in there. There is some good shots in the movie too. And then all of a sudden you'll see something stupid and you'll either cringe, just think it's embarrassing, or you may laugh. I laughed a lot. I also felt a lot of embarrassment too. Number two kind of ties in with number one. But there's so many repetitive shots too, where just repetitive, ineffective shots. Like it's that combination together. If you saw repetitive, effective shots, maybe it leaves an impression. But it's a like a redundant. Just you see, like imagine just seeing a person screaming, for 2 minutes or 5 minutes straight. That's what this movie goes through sometimes. Where if you were holding on to me in like this "I got you" fashion, I was just screaming ah, like not even saying like oh, just ah ah, and then it cuts to you, holding on to me, and then it cuts to me ah, and then it cuts to the attacker, just you holding on to me, and then cuts back to me ah. It feels a lot like that. Just it probably looked just as stupid as I probably portrayed the stupid look. I'm not calling myself stupid. I'm just saying me. I'm sure it looks stupid when I do it here on camera. So it looks the same stupid in the actual movie. Also, the story is told very poorly. This is number three. The story is told very poorly. I'm okay with breadcrumb storytelling, even though it's not my favorite. That's my terminology for movies that like to give you pieces of information, but not like pieces of the story, but without giving you the whole story. And it's up to you to solve the mystery, or rather interpret the movie. So the kind of breadcrumb storytelling where it's giving you pieces of information and leading you along, and sometimes it's not all adding up and you have to try to assemble it. I do enjoy those kinds of movies, and it feels like this movie's trying to do that. But when it comes to, for a movie to work like that, it has to hammer in a couple details. It's almost like uh, one of those, imagine as a kid, one of those the trace the points, to make an actual figure, and you start at point one, point two, point three. Those points have to be in specific locations. It's got to be laid out, and you have to, if you're telling that in a movie, you have to hammer in specific points for people to kind of interpret things. Otherwise, you can interpret anything anyway, and it just becomes unclear and confusing, and nothing makes sense. And that's the part of the problem with this movie. A lot of things don't make sense. And when the exposition is being told, it's some of the maybe the worst exposition I've ever told. And I'm not talking about the acting. I'm talking about, it's part of the acting, but how they're telling you the story, the details of what happened, like the details about the mummy and the details about everything. The people that they have doing the voices are just overacting so hard that it's even hard to understand what they're saying, because they feel like they're emphasizing the words wrong, and this is in the English dub. So it makes it hard to understand what is important and why. Also, some more bad stuff. This isn't the biggest problem of the movie. This is just going to be a problem for probably most viewers. It doesn't stick out to me, but it's worth mentioning. But the movie has lots of bad practical effects and bad lighting. There's lots of bad technical problems with the movie too. So if you're really keen on how technically flawed a movie is, like if you're bothered by a technically flawed movie, this movie is going to drive you crazy, because it will do something right and then do something wrong and then do something right and then do something wrong, and it can be frustrating if you're picky about your shots. Some good things about the movie, though, is there is some good shots, and there is some good camera movement. There's some good sequences. It almost feels legitimately cinematic at a few points, where I could see that the director was onto something. It truly feels like he had a story and he just didn't know how to, I guess, bring it to life, how to realize it. Because in some of the scenes, or some of the sequences, it just looked good, and I can tell that it felt like they were onto something, but just weren't doing their own story justice, or perhaps didn't know, or ran out of money, or I'm not sure if what other behind the scenes troubles may have caused. But some shots look good in the movie. There's some fun music also. There's a cool, very gothic looking hotel, and I just like when they show the hotel. I love gothic hotels, and I'm saying hotel, I meant castle. Oh my gosh, that's gonna look ridiculous, but or sound ridiculous rather. But a gothic castle, I don't know there probably was Gothic hotels, right? I'm gonna have to Google that after this, Gothic hotel. So anyway, in this movie, there's a cool Gothic castle. What I mean by that, I mean Gothic architecture. It looks medieval and it looks haunting. It's really cool. So uh, there's just cool Gothic music and atmosphere at points in the movie, and I liked the breadcrumb story with the the music and these occasional shots of this castle with other good mystery shots. That's my last point too. Is the movie my last good point? I mean, the movie does work at times as a mystery story where I was on board with. The movie looks horrible, but I'm on board with the mystery. It's like it's showing me I don't know, something gross, like a series of gross things. And we're trying to figure out where the gross things came from. And I don't like looking at it, um, but it's an interesting mystery. I want to know where this gross stuff came from. I truly feel like the movie didn't know how to tell the story it was wanting to tell, and some things aren't clear or contradictory, but you probably heard all you needed to hear anyway. If you don't like schlock movies, don't watch the movie. If you do like schlock movies, it's worth checking out. It's an hour, it doesn't take much time. It's better to watch it with a friend if you can. That's my review. It's an F, but it's an entertaining F. Okay, it's pretty nonsensical and unclear. So it's free to watch on YouTube. There's a French version and an English dub version. If you just search Devil Story Movie on YouTube, you can find it to watch. If you watched it, let me know if you thought it was funny or not. You can let me know your thoughts. That I appreciate that. And I appreciate your time. Thank you for listening. And I hope you have a great day. I will see you sort of in the next video. So see you next time. Thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye.